Wow. So DC Comics might actually be going out of business. What do you think, Gus?
Do I look like a fucking nerd? I don't read comics, jackass.
I was just asking your opinion. Do you think DC Comics is going to get canceled?
Again, do I look like a fucking nerd?
You know what? Never mind. Just never mind. Okay, Gus? Damn. Anyway, guys, this doesn't look good for DC Comics. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I am Robert Storms. As always, if you're finding me for the very first time, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. All the likes count. The more likes you guys get, the more YouTube shares this video, and the more views I get, the more subscribers I can build, trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But anyway, guys, let's talk about DC.
Oh my God, tell me it's not true, Rob. Tell me it's not true.
Now what the hell is going on?
I heard a rumor that DC might be going out of business, and some crazy asshole told me that Marvel was gonna buy it. That can't happen. It can't, Rob. Tell me it's not true, Rob. Tell me it's not true.
There's rumors about it, yeah.
I literally can't handle this. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. I just can't deal with this.
I swear, everybody's losing their damn mind. Okay, so let me try to explain what's going on here, people. Because yesterday I got a lot of messages from people saying, hey, did you hear Marvel's buying DC Comics? That's not accurate. That's not true. There's rumors about it. I don't think that's happening. So what's going on is, if you guys don't know, comic books haven't been selling that well. Either Marvel or DC, it doesn't matter. Comics haven't been selling that well. And we heard rumblings, I think like a year ago, that Disney was talking about shutting down the Marvel Comics division. So this stuff does get talked about a lot. Well, now there are rumors that AT&T might be shutting down the DC comic book division. And the reason for that is, and the reason why some of these rumors have some kind of weight, is because recently, about 2 days ago, AT&T fired one of the co-publishers at DC Comics. He was coming up with this crazy-ass 5G thing where, like, the 5th generation, where they would basically just get rid of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and all these popular characters like Flash and Green Lantern, and they were just going to usher in all new characters to take their place so they can build these new generations of superheroes. And a lot of the writers, you know, they went up against it. They're like, hey, look, this is ridiculous. We're working on this. You can't do this. I'm not going to do this. And eventually, it led to that guy, Dan Dio, being let go of DC Comics. He's been there for many, many years. And now with AT&T saying, look, if this 5th generation thing don't work, we might be shutting down DC Comics. So here's what I think, and this is why look, do I think there are talks about DC Comics being shut down? Yes, I think there's talks about Marvel Comics being shut down because it's almost a dead medium nowadays. It really is. I am a massive comic book fan. I had a large collection. I had to sell my collection after I got into a car accident, and I canceled my subscription. I canceled my subscription for a couple reasons. One, it was getting too expensive. Okay, Marvel and DC Comics are really expensive. Marvel Comics are $5, sometimes $5.99, $6 for one comic. Same thing goes with DC. I don't think they're as expensive as Marvel, but they're pretty expensive too, especially when you compare them to like an Image comic, where Image comics are usually $2.99. Another thing is, these are corporate characters. Nothing ever changes with these characters. Spider-Man is pretty much the same character now as he was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Same thing goes with Superman and Batman, and every time they do make changes to the characters, they do some kind of stupid-ass crossover event that basically resets the whole status quo, and all the different changes they made of Spider-Man or Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman or all these other characters gets reset. They do something interesting in New 52, and then guess what? Rebirth comes out and everything's reset again. They do something in Marvel with Spider-Man and all these other characters. They do Secret Wars and everything gets resetted again. They constantly do this in comics all the time, and you're just spending money upon money, and nothing ever changes, and people are getting tired of doing that, and that's another reason why I canceled my subscription. Image Comics, Boom Comics, and Dynamite Comics, these are not corporate characters. They own these characters, and they do something completely different. There was an arc in Invincible, one of my favorite comic books of all time, when the main character, Mark Grayson, gets raped by a female villain. He gets thrown to the ground and raped by her. And that set major repercussions in that story, in the Invincible comics. And it didn't reset it like it never happened. It happened. And Mark had to learn to live with him being raped. You don't see that in Marvel and DC. You don't see Catwoman raping Batman. You don't see Black Cat raping Spider-Man, because these are corporate characters. They have to do certain things. Where in Image Comics, Dynamite Comics, they have the ability to do their own thing. And again, comics aren't selling. People aren't buying comic books nowadays. And another reason why I got rid of my subscription is because it is easier for me to go to a store, buy a tablet the size of a comic book, and sign up for Marvel Unlimited or DC Universe, where I have the entire library at my fingertips. Sure, I don't get day one releases of the comics, but 6 months from now, they all get released on Marvel Unlimited, so I can just read them as they come. I don't have to go to a store and buy these comics and then have to worry about storing in 50 long boxes. I don't have to worry about having a whole closet full of comic books that I don't know what I'm going to do with, when I can have everything on a tablet. So yes, it makes sense that these companies are going to want to close their comic book divisions at some point, because A, they're not making money, and B, it's a dead medium. People are more concerned about video games, movies, and television. And that's just the sad truth of the era we live in. You know, back in the day, comic books sold a lot because there wasn't a whole lot of entertainment. You had a TV with maybe 3 channels and then a radio. That was it. Things are different nowadays. Everything, we're going into the digital age. Do I think Marvel's going to buy DC? No. That's to me, I think that's ludicrous, because Marvel is in the same position as DC is, and Marvel, their comics aren't selling all that well either. I do think we're going to get to a day where the comic book divisions will be closed and are no longer going to sell physical comics. I do think comics will always last, but I think they're going to be all digital. I think Marvel and DC is going to close their publishing, and they're going to focus on digital comics. And I think it'll be much better for everybody involved, because now you're not paying the artists, the writers, the letterers, the inkers, the colorists. You're not paying all them. Then paying for all the materials that you need to publish, like the inks and the papers, to publish physical comics. You can just pay the artists and the writers, and you just put it out digitally, and you make a profit. That's the reason why video games are going digital, because so many people would rather buy digital video games instead of having physical games, and the corporations aren't paying for the discs or the cartridges or the cases and all that stuff. We are getting into a digital age, and with comic books not selling as much as they used to, corporations like AT&T and Disney is not going to sit there and justify why Marvel Comics and DC Comics aren't making profits, and why are they spending all this money. I do think physical comic books will live on with like Image Comics and Boom Comics, Dynamite Comics, these smaller comic book companies that know what they're trying to do. But that is my thoughts. There's a lot of conversation going on about this right now. A lot of different websites reporting on this. And it does look like there's a real serious threat of maybe something happening with DC Comics. But anyway, guys, that's literally all I know and all the information I have on this entire situation. I do think things are going down behind the scenes, especially with the firing of the co-publisher, Dan Dio. I do think something big is going to happen. I don't think Marvel's going to buy DC, but I do think we're going to start seeing some major changes in the comic book industry, and I think they're going to be coming sooner rather than later. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on it. I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this whole situation. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below, and until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.